There's many underlying issues that this country and the world face, and all of them always seem relatively shallow from the surface, and problems seem simple, until you take a deeper dive below the surface of an issue, or take a look at the bigger picture. It's easy to just say, immigrants will take our jobs and our cash, or all guns should be banned, or but my rights, or whatever else you may hear or say as a simple solution to a problem. None of these statements even come close to how complicated or in-depth an issue can be. Immigration is not a yes or no, it shouldn't. It involves complicated economics, population change, and all sorts of other factors that can be easily overlooked by a simple statement of, they're going to take my job, or that's a racist opinion, we shouldn't do something like that, we should let them in. Both miss the subject matter entirely. Same thing with any other issue in the world. A continent, a country, a region, or a community might face. So I encourage you to come with me on a deeper dive into the bigger picture of all types of issues. I invite you to the bigger picture, an entirely non-scheduled, non-timed, and entirely non-sequential show where we take a deep dive into deep issues that we may face, or that you may have heard of but haven't looked into, or maybe you've looked into it and you don't understand it, or you want a deeper understanding of it. My goal is simple. It's not to push my own views, but to educate myself and others on topics that I care about and I feel that others should know about. My other goal is to remain clear of bias as much as possible, but I am human after all, so there will be some bias, whether through inflection or writing or editing of any sort. So always keep an eye out for that when I do these episodes. I also encourage you to come look at the episodes at an unbiased perspective and come open to listen and think about someone else's opinion and or thoughts and or what's said on the topic itself. Not just my opinion is right and yours is therefore wrong because your opinion is not mine. Of course, this won't be easy. I'll be accepting some suggestions, addendums, and maybe splitting the work with another voice or another host as I go on. We'll see. And of course, everything that I say and or research and or write on is subject to change through the times. What I say today may be entirely invalid tomorrow, or it may last on for hundreds of years. My plan, at least to start this off, is to go into the big news in the US with the newly elected President and Vice President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, respectively, their policies, and their other initiatives and ideas they may have or put forth, and of course the new Congress and what they plan to do, because they can be confusing on what their actual views are. It's all a political game at this point. And I've already heard some confusion on the topic, so I hope to clear that up. I think it's worth me taking a dive into. I also plan on looking at some other controversial issues that this country faces. I might take a look at racism, but that's a very, very deep topic. That's going to be an hours-long discussion, and that's something I really don't want to tread on. That's a deep topic, and it's hard to do properly. Something I might do is something like firearms. It's relatively simple, to me at least, but even I, from a bit of knowledge to it, still am hours of research away from even beginning to understand the current system in the US. It's complicated, it's convoluted, and after having worked with it through the sale of firearms at an employer, it's not fun. It's so convoluted. So that's another issue I'd like to take a look at. Thank you for coming by to listen, and stay informed.